Hey guys, Rick and Duke, welcome to another episode of HOGG Words of Wisdom. Guys, it's been a while. Life comes in, things happen. But hey, we're back. We're gonna get it on a regular schedule. But just want to thank you, the viewer listener, for giving me your most precious commodity. And today we are coming to you live from a law enforcement firing range somewhere in your area. That's right. We're going to talk about law enforcement firearms training. First, a little quick housekeeping. Guys, don't forget, swing by warhog.com. Sign up for those newsletters. Trust me, I will not inundate you with a bunch of stuff. Don't forget our OTR Patreon crew. You can swing by patreon.com/on the range podcast. While you're out surfing the interwebs, do us a huge favor. Swing by whatever podcast, YouTube you're listening to. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications, leave us a rating review, all that other stuff. That's what's going to help get HOGG Words of Wisdom and On the Range podcast out to more people. So let's jump right into this thing, man. We're going to talk about some law enforcement firearms training. First and foremost, if you are an active law enforcement officer in the Southeast, check it out. June 6th or June 7th, we have a free Project Officer Survival. That's right, free law enforcement firearms training, red dot pistol. And I know what you're asking or know what you're saying, but Rick, we haven't been issued red dots yet. Rick, I don't have a red dot pistol. Not a problem. Check it out, guys. So our good friends at Walther, they're going to provide you with a PDP. Don't forget aim point. We're going to put aim point acros on there, and you're going to be running Safariland holster. So really all you have to do is show up 400 rounds of ammunition, old t-shirt that can be shot, a belt, and then have your eyes and ears. You're ready to train. If you don't have a copy of the firearms training notebook, we'll have them available out there for you guys. Hopefully with this event, so the June 6th, 7th event, it's down in Holt, Florida, which is on the Panhandle. It'll be at the Element Training Complex. We will have vendors out there as well. The vendors, the beauty is we've got live fire bays for those guys. That's open to the public. Or if you're a law enforcement agency in that area, you want to swing by, check out some great vendors, swing by, see what they've got, shoot some guns. I mean, how can you go wrong? So we're continuing to build this thing, more to follow. Obviously, you will know if you're part of the newsletter. We'll lay it out exactly for you guys, but just want to get the word out there. So I've been doing this law enforcement firearms training for a while now. And guys, I'm here to tell you, if you're a law enforcement officer, listen to my voice. Your agency, your department, they are not doing you justice and quote unquote giving you the training you need. You have to go out and do your own due diligence and put the time in. You got to have a dry fire plan. You got to be doing something to increase your survivability. Yes, the range, when you go out there, you're basically, confirming your marksmanship. Hey, what am I doing in dry fire? Is that transpiring over? If you're running a pro timer, yep, you can get some tangible data there. And then just making sure that we are properly mitigating that recoil in whatever platform we're using. But man, you make your money. I can't stress it enough. You make your money on the dry fire training. Cost you guys nothing, some time, right? Oh, Rick, you don't get it. I'm super busy. Really? I guarantee if I were to go look at your screen time, you've got time built in, right? You could trim 5 minutes a day, separate yourself, have that plan, use the firearms training notebook as that tool, figure out what I need to work on, and then boom, go work on it. I mean, it's that easy. Project Officer Survival, established back in 2020. Me and Mark Kelley went out to St. Louis. Was our first event, and ever since then, we have had the passion of how do we give free training back to these guys? We get it. You guys are strapped for dollars. I got it. Agencies not supporting. But this event in Florida, it will cost you, the active law enforcement officer, nothing. Just reach out to your agency. Say, hey, man, I need 400 rounds of 9mm ammunition to go train. And again, get better educated on the red dot pistol. What I am seeing personally from an instructor standpoint across the board, and I'll even add a step further. Just from a father, friend, all this other stuff. What I'm seeing a lot of these agencies do out there when it comes to this red dot pistol, in my mind, is absolutely criminal. The quote unquote professionals, they're supposed to be teeing these items because they are pieces of life-saving equipment. They're not putting the effort forward. They don't really know how to do a T&E process. They're not reaching out to everybody. You know what? I'm gonna say it as plain as day. Don't let a price point drive equipment you're trying to put on these officers' life-saving tools. Don't do it. So you see a lot of agencies, and I'll give you just some law enforcement horror stories that I've heard. I had one agency. They wanted to go to red dot pistols, tasked whoever their person was to purchase them. And my man just went on Amazon and found the cheapest things. Well, that was a complete waste of money because they found out, oh, these things don't work. You have a big push. Communist China manufactured holosuns, right? Everyone's running to them. Yet my experience has been, I see nothing but problems with them when I'm out in the range with these guys. I've seen everything from the enclosed, like I had one agency, right? Let me give you a story first. I had one agency, their T&E process was, hey, let's go ask the guy at the gun shop, right? He's the SME. Sure, he's been in a bunch of gunfights, all kinds of red dot experience, right? Which one should we get? Hey, buy this holosun here. Oh, by the way, you want the solar panel. So it adds to your battery life. Well, you figure half your dudes, if not more, are working nights. So what's that solar panel doing? Nothing. Long story short, they ended up buying one of the enclosed ones. I'm sorry, not savvy with all their models. And my man's wedding band, just by firearms manipulation, cracked that solar panel. And then next thing you know, he's got a snow globe intermittent red dot, because when that solar panel broke, it was all just encaptured in that enclosed red dot. So that was a fail, right? So small agency, only like 40 dudes. They had bought 8 spares. We weren't even at lunchtime yet, and we're already pulling spares out. The latest thing I'm starting to see is it's like they're getting cheap on their mounting screws. Screws are shearing right off of the plate. And then when you go to take a peek at them, the composite, because I can't even say they're metal because it doesn't look metal to me. But whatever composite item they're using for those mounting screws just does not look right, man. And we're seeing a bunch of that, right? But here's my thing, especially when it comes to this red dot pistol. Guys don't know the difference between what's an enclosed emitter, what's an open emitter. I heard one agency talking about, the old occluded shooting, and one of their occluded shooting drills was, hey, let's put some debris on the back so that, should your open emitter, which looks like a big scoop, big shovel, get some mud and dirt back there, you can still figure out how to use your pistol. I was like, well, let's think about it for a minute, guys, right? You've already identified a flaw. Boom. That should be strike number 1, right? Why even go further down the road? So for you, the viewer listener out there, if you're not super savvy when it comes to red dots, you basically have 2 types. You have what's called an open emitter and an enclosed emitter. So something like the Aimpoint Acro, which looks like a box, it's an enclosed emitter, right? You're not worried about anything obscuring that emitter, projecting that red dot onto the glass. An open emitter is just that. It is kind of like an L-shaped styled optic, and in the back, there's a emitter there that has to project it up to the glass. Well, let's think about it. Dirt, debris, water, whatever can get on this emitter, and then you potentially lose your red dot. So I asked these guys when they come out, not even for, the red dot pistol course where we're providing all the equipment, but when they come out with their own stuff, hey, what's your number 1 fail point? And most guys go battery. Say, no way, dude. You got to open emitter. And then take it a step further. Again, agencies are buying things and not doing the thought process. I want to mitigate as many fail points in my piece of life-saving equipment as I can. But then you have these ones that have the old shake awake, right? So, hey, at some point the dot goes off. When it wiggles around, it comes back on. Dude, to me, that's just another fail point, right? If you can't leave your dot on, why even have it? Well, batteries, dude. Spend a couple bucks once a year, barring you've done your true T&E process, right? Have you actually ran this thing for a year on high all the way, see what you're getting? Probably not. Do you even know the difference between an open and a closed emitter? Probably not. You're buying a shake awake, or this solar panel, that's one more piece of failure. Are you actually putting this piece of life-saving equipment through the wickets? Are you actually shooting out there in the rain? Are you moving around? Whether it's a rural environment, hey man, you getting dirt debris. I don't know. What are you guys doing? But I just see from an outsider standpoint that unfortunately, I think a lot of these guys think they're gun guys, and I'm not claiming to be a gun guy, right? Just a guy with some experience, right? They're the gun guy. They're the ego. They got all this other stuff, and they don't want to listen to anybody. Or, the company makes whatever's trying to sell them that product such a sweet deal, they opt to go, yep, hey, we'll run with that. One thing that Walther has done. So let's talk about just Walther and Aimpoint real quick, right? So yeah, with the Walther PDP series, you can get plates on there. But like when you look at something like their professional pistol, the mill's already cut for an Aimpoint acro. And you keep going, Rick, you keep harping this acro thing. Yeah, because check it out. It's a Picatinny mount. A Picatinny mount. So that means, yes, I can put it on my pistol. Hey, man, if I've got some spares and need to outfit some rifles, I can do that as well, right? But think about it. How much of a bomber platform would you have? A Picatinny directly mounted to that rail. Dude, I'm removing all kinds of fail points because now I've got no plate. I don't have to worry about screws coming undone, anything like that, breaking, snapping, whatever, right? Boom, it's directly mounted. But are these guys actually doing it? If you're one of these law enforcement officers that has to test equipment, are you actually putting the effort in? How many rounds you firing? What are you doing? So I know for at least when Warhog Tactical is doing any type of T&E for a company, we tell them straight up, man, hey, it's at least 90 days and it's at least 10,000 rounds of ammo. Because 90 days will give me a rough window to try to hit as many different environmental considerations. Hey, man, I might be teaching a class or whatever, but hey, we've got a free window. Cool. You know what? It's raining. I got it. Nobody wants to go out in the rain. You got to get the equipment out there. How well does it do? You get dirt, debris, mud, splash, drop. Are you doing the full Monty to really check to make sure this equipment is good? And oh, by the way, these companies will send you these items so you can T&E. The proof's in the pudding. Stack them up, give them a run, and go from there. And I know I kind of went on the tangent with the red dot, but man, there's just so much misinformation out there. And I'm watching these guys tell me things that's absolutely ludicrous. And that's why we've kind of started, partnering with Walther, Aimpoint, and Safariland, really to start pushing this red dot pistol. Hey, man, we're going to provide you everything you need. You just need to bring bullets, an old T-shirt that can be shot, your belt, because, yeah, we're going to give you a holster as well with the mag pouch, eyes and ears, and let's go train, right? Let's get you educated. So now hopefully you can go back and educate whoever's going to make those decisions on that equipment. Guys, if you're a law enforcement officer, you have to train. You have to get out and train. You have to work your firearm. You have to work your hands, get your either combatives, defensive tactics, whatever verbiage you guys are using, right? You got to work that. You got to do your physical fitness. The driving thing, yeah, you guys are driving there. But man, if you get a chance to get out to the track, get out the track, right? You want to enhance your skills all the time. You should be doing the old mantra, hey, I want to be 1% better every single day. Just ask yourself, are you doing that? Am I better today than I was yesterday? And if the answer is no, especially with law enforcement, man, we're losing too many of you guys. You have to take that responsibility. You have to train all aspects of your job. You practicing your cuffing techniques. How quick can you cuff? What about that tourniquet? Do you have one? Is it still in the plastic? All questions you guys need to ask yourself. Rick's not going to be there to help you. Yeah, and granted, I might be passing by, and trust me, every time I see them blue lights, I slow down. You know what? Because I'm the guy that's taking the peak. Hey, man, you need help? If you need help, trust me, I'm going to help you. But you can't rely on me. You can't rely on the good citizens. Man, we see enough videos out there of citizens out there helping law enforcement officers. My hat's off to them. But, man, you have to be able to take care of this fight. You have to put the effort in. So, guys, just a quick recap, law enforcement firearms training, man, it's a constant beast. These ranges are run So the 3-year-old can get by? No way. We run our ranges, man. I treat these guys like adults because they are adults. You know, you're expected to carry this firearm 364, except for that day you go to the range. Then you treat it like a child. Makes absolutely zero sense. And you can't give me the excuse, well, you know, we got to train to the lowest common denominator. Well, if they're not meeting the standards, why are they still there? Or what is that instructor not doing to enhance that individual skill? You know, we haven't even brushed on doing any type of force on force, any type of scenarios, any of that. We haven't even touched on that, right? Just the mere act of said officer, their handgun, is that officer putting the time in? That's my question to you guys. So don't take your job for granted. I hate to say it, but this day and age, with as many as illegals as we got flooding our country, the violence that's out there, in Rick's opinion, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And when that deadly force encounters, God forbid it does, but when it does, are you prepared for the day? Because here's the deal, you're not going to step up, right? You're not going to magically get some magical powers. You're going to fall back to the skill set you have and probably a little bit below. So you want to sit there and make sure, hey, I'm using something like the Firearms Training Notebook to increase my skills, to have a plan, to make myself better. God forbid evil pokes its head out, man. You shut that thing down, and you shut it down quick, and you come back to your family. That's what you guys need to do. All right, guys, don't forget, swing by warhog.com, sign up for that newsletter. Make sure you swing by kelleydefense.com, sign up for Mark's as well. Patreon.com/on the range podcasts. Yeah, guys, I appreciate all your support. We're back. We're going to start putting these episodes out more frequently. Yeah, just life got in the way, but it's all good. Guys, make sure you train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you guys on the range. Rick and Duco out.